Ladies and gentlemen, Kenya sank to its lowest point earlier this year because of this statement. And I want to show you this because it was taken a bit of lightly and discussed in the altar of politics, while some will comfortably look at this statement as just a political talk. But 2 months down the line, the reality is boiling. And we want to open the lid on what exactly is the risk, or rather the danger, behind this. Listen to Radiomaisha's shareholding slur.
Sisi lazima tungeangalia nyinyi. Hii serikali ni kampuni na ni ya shares. Si ndio? Ni ya shares. Kuna wenye kampuni, wale wako na shares mingi, kuna wale wako na chache, kuna wale hawana. Sasa nyinyi mliinvest kwa hii kampuni ya William Ruto na Rigathi Gachagua. Sasa lazima mvune. Yule ambaye alipanda atafanya nini? Simulipanda? Simuliamuka mapema? Mukasema mutaki kusikia mambo ya ile system na nini? Muka invest, mukapanda, mukapalilia, mukaweka mbolea, mukamwagilia maji, wakati ya kuvuna ndio huu. Na itakuwa namna hiyo. Najua wengine wananikashifu ati mimi nasema ati wale walipanda wavune kwanza. Iko makosa? Iko makosa? Hata hao watavuna lakini wangoje. Si wale walipanda na wavune kwanza. Wakishavuna wavune ile tabaki kidogo, wale wakupanda waingie watafute huko.
Now, this statement was your deputy president speaking in Kericho, and seems to be exciting the crowd. No, sometimes politicians, when they get the crowd, they suspend the reasoning aspect. Now, in many instances, the DP has confirmed in public that he man-marks William Ruto and robes around State House, especially when there is an appointment, to make sure that those who are appointed are those with the political inclination. So today, I got this newspaper headline. It's a very interesting one I wanted to look at, and it's saying how shareholders are ruling Kenya. It's very interesting, huh? And I remember yesterday when I was analyzing about the breakaway, the bit of a power sharing deal, signaling the camp Rigathi Gachagua, that is Ndung'u, Moses Kuria, Njeru, Linturi, Wahome, Ichung'wa, and Wanjau. And then you have Ruto's Peaks, Chirchir, Cheriot, Korir, Nixon, Sholei, Chelugui, and Murkomen. Then you have the guys in the middle, the Kingi, Linturi, Mutua, and the team. So that is shareholders. In the last 1 week, Azimio la Umoja held 2 meetings, and these 2 meetings were in Mount Kenya. On Thursday, there was the meeting in Murang'a social hall, in Murang'a. Then on Friday, they were actually in Nyandarua for another meeting. These 2 meetings, in the wake of political discussions, they have been deemed non-shareholders meetings. And so, why do you think Azimio la Umoja have picked 2 months down the line, after that shareholding story, they picked that line of non-shareholders? What exactly is happening? And I want to show you what is making that to thrive, and it is the danger that William Ruto must see. Now, I think I wanted to get a sound bite from Mwangi area.
Only supposed to accrue to supporters or to those people who voted for Kenya Kwanza. 14 million Kenyans didn't vote for Kenya Kwanza, because it's only 7 million who voted for Kenya Kwanza and 7 million or so for Azimio. 7 million didn't vote, 7 million didn't vote for Kenya Kwanza. That means that 14 million Kenyans are not shareholders. And that is an official statement by this government. What are we discussing? We are supposed to call upon wale ambao si wana hisa for us to demand our share. And that's very simple. That's so simple. Wale ambao si wana hisa tujisajili na wao wapeane their share certificates, tupambane huko nje. Lastly, nikimaliza, mnasema Central Kenya ni kama hawagusiki kwa maandamano. Hiyo si kweli. Sisi kwanza huangalia na madha anajua. Tumepeana muda karibu.
Since he announced his grand entry in Azimio, he has remained one leader that has been very lethal and has been the custodian of that narrative. I remember Jeremiah Kioni carrying the 8.1 million placard, and then Mwangi Warie is talking about non-shareholders, and non-shareholders we need to demand our share. And you will realize that UDA has found themselves in a very precarious situation that is very difficult to counter that shareholding thing, because what you want to do is you want to suppress it, and people are just so quiet about it. So why do you think this has come up now? Why the Azimio team are actually bringing this in the fold? I want us to look at that, but again, just to remind you before it, the very last day of our fundraiser to support Mercy's family, and those who had promised, and of course those who are waiting, we're closing on Sunday night, and so we'll be so grateful for what you have. I'm going to pin the video towards the end of this, and so you can have a glimpse to make sure you are part of that motorbike project. I believe, strongly believe, that we are going to get him a new motorbike, leave alone even the loan. We should get him one brand new story alone, and I know God will be our portion. I believe, and wait for Tuesday, Monday, that will happen. Skilled appointments will then follow, and the shareholders' outbursts, came out. Just recently, there are two appointments that struck the limelight. After the push and pull at the Kenya Ports Authority, someone was picked to be the new MD, someone Ruto, name, and it really emerged. It really caused eyebrows, because those who were there, that position was actually supposed to be left for the custodians. And at the campaign trail, I remember Amason King is saying that he's going to push for that port management, really custodians to be considered. But again, I also don't support that, because positions should be given on merit. The other one is the NIS Secretary, the NIS Director General, who was also Matilda, who was also reposted after, I don't know, she resigned or she was pushed out of that job. I don't just know, but there was a bit of that reshuffle. Then, Azimio have pulled this card, and they're now saying they're shareholders and non-shareholders. I don't know where do you belong. For me, I want to be very honest. I did not vote for William Ruto. Yes, and so anyone who did not vote for William Ruto maybe is a non-shareholder. I voted for a UDA candidate in other positions, but I think for the president, I voted for the president, governor, I voted for someone different. And so, non-shareholders. So those who are non-shareholders, you're not part, those who did not vote, anything that is not in yellow is actually a non-shareholder. And that is the narrative that is here with us. And I want to tell you why Azimio have actually pulled it. This was 2 months ago, but then they seem to have realized that it negates it has thrived in the skewed appointments and the tribal, the tribal inclinations of state appointments and those which are some appointments that are done by the president. But I see it as a card that has been pulled, and it works against the merger script in the 2007 political game plan that William Ruto is trying to lay. He's trying to lay a plan for 2027. And if you want to know, it's playing against the unity card these days. Rigathi said there are those who are majority shareholders, there are those who have small shares, there are those who don't have. And if you look at the fringe parties in the Kenya Kwanza, it's only Maendeleo Chap Chap that the party leader got CS position. Then that party for Amason Kingi, only Amason Kingi got the speaker. The other fringe parties, Ford Kenya and ANC, they got their positions. I don't think they even had a pick in who was to be in cabinet. So all the other fringe parties, the Farmers Party and other two small parties that joined, they did not get a share of the big cow. And what does that mean? What that means is that even then they're not part of it. They're not part, and that's why the merger plan of merging political parties, the other fringe parties, to form one party known as UDA, I think has collapsed. And it seems to have failed because quite a number of even parties are feeling they're not shareholders. So the question of shareholding is very critical. And I think Azimio have really seen something. Now let me tell you. There's something going on in this country. No one is going to tell you. You think the shareholders are only getting it in terms of state appointments. There is a very fertile ground. It's called the area of contracts. So we've seen two contracts being given on such grounds, given only to shareholders, and even some non-shareholders technically being pushed out of business in the guise or branded as cartels. I've always said, and I will repeat, the word cartel is a name that is used by people lazy that do not want to face the facts. There is no one who is a cartel. They're only an intermediary here. So we've spoken, so it's just another way of profiling other people. When you profile a cartel, then you pull out of it. But that's the truth. So the shareholding, one of the areas that it has really hit hard is the area of contracts as the commercial interest. So because of this commercial interest, look at what is happening in the fuel sector. Look at what's happening in the maize. Fuel has been procured from Dubai, arriving here. There are 3 companies that have been given contracts, and all the other 96 coal marketing companies have to buy from the 3. And that has really created an uproar. So these are some of the non-shareholders. That is part of the effect of the non-shareholders that are actually boiling our political contests going forward. Because we're actually making elections look like, if you lose elections automatically, you're not part of it. That's it. We have demonized the loser as a man and a person. Those who support the losing side, those who support the side that they lost, are not part of it. And it hits a lot because even Azimio knows very well that William Ruto had a promise of, I will form government with the hustlers. And that promise has not been effected. So when you propagate and you crystallize the shareholders, non-shareholders narrative, you'll actually consolidate and make sure you widen the gap between William Ruto and the hustlers. So that to me is the danger in it. I think Azimio have decided to pull that card for some very, very important reasons. So ladies and gentlemen, we are coming back with a very critical analysis, something that really shocked this country. Let's come back and talk about the matters of religion is an opium of the people. Thank you, and with that here.
This started after my wife gave birth at Pumwani Hospital.
Date?
On date 20th February. So after she gave birth, mtoto alikuwa nursery after 5 days. So after 5 days from nursery, we went back home. We were just home, things were well. After some few weeks, then wife got complications. Alianza ku bleed, mysteriously bleeding, and I was shocked. Ran out to call the doctor, and the doctor told me to bring the lady in the hospital.
Wapi? Unaishi wapi?
Okay, naishi Dandora.
Okay.
Phase 5.
Okay.
So daktari alijaribu, akashindwa. The lady was seriously bleeding. Akaniambia nitafute taxi to rush mgonjwa Kenyatta. Nikafanya hivyo, tukafika Kenyatta. Wakati nilifika Kenyatta, mama alikuwa admitted na From hapo, so
alikuwa admitted sasa Kenyatta.
Alikuwa admitted Kenyatta hospital.
Na wakati alikuwa admitted the child now but the child
Okay.
the child is fine.
By the time.
But then this is the child.
Yeah.
And
this is baby.
This is your baby. And
yeah.
Ni baby boy and
baby boy. To Jason.
Oh, good. Even my son was born in February. So now, where are you from first?
Okay, right now I'm from the Kenyatta Hospital. Nilipeleka mtoto kunyonya, and that is how I always do it. Nampeleka ananyonya, namrudisha kwa nyumba.
Unampeleka kila siku?
Daily.
In the morning ama unakana the whole day?
No. Nampeleka in the evening. In the evening.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then sasa sasa ukitoka unaenda tu mnalala.
Sasa nikitoka naenda kwa nyumba. So nikiwa pale kwa nyumba, mtoto ana survive na maziwa ya kuchemsha. Nachemsha, naongeza maji kidogo. And that's it.
Wow. You really impressed me. How about the child? Yeah, alikuwa sawa hata wakitoka Pumwani?
Okay, mtoto wakati tulikuwa tunatoka Pumwani, mtoto since alikunywa ile amniotic fluid, ile uchafu. So mtoto amekuwa na shida hiyo ya kungorota, anangorota. Ni kama anafungana hewa.
Okay.
So doctors gave me some medicine ile ya kudrop kwa mapua wakati anatoa hiyo sauti. So hiyo ndo nimekuwa nikitumia, but still at times nasikia anatoa hiyo sauti kama
hata sasa nasikia na
hata sasa. Yeah.
What did the doctors in Kenyatta say was the problem?
Doctors in Kenyatta waliniambia mama wakati alizaa kuna vile mtoto alimrarua, they got a tear. So walimshona, alienda theater wakamshona.
Na alizaa normal?
Alizaa normal.
Na tear. Okay. So, anafaa show me what. Okay.
Yeah.
You may not understand because we do have a lady here.
Yeah.
Okay. So so that was what was bringing the complication about the bleeding.
Yeah.
Guys, I was told this, and I really got touched by his story, Stephen's story. You know, when he was telling me you were in Kenyatta, and I was like, okay, what's going on? So it's been there for how many days?
Since date second.
Date second.
Yeah.
The bill is?
The bill is 80,000.
80,000.
Yeah.
Wow. But then now that you take care every evening, when do you go to work now? Do you even go to work now that?
No. Okay. About my work, I'm a boda rider. Na pikipiki naendesha ni ya mtu na ni ya loan. So wakati nilikuwa na hii shida, pikipiki ilibidi tu iendelee kufanya kazi sababu inalipwa daily. So mwenyewe alichukua na alitafuta mwingine aendelee.
Oh, so what you normally your work is kuendesha boda?
Yes.
So because of this, that is you can't. But then how do you survive? Okay, you should not ask that. So should get it. What is the terms of the loan? How much do you pay to get a pikipiki and loan so that you pay for the maybe?
Okay, for now, loan walipandisha nini deposit. Kwa saa hii deposit ni 25,000.
Okay.
Then
so if you get 25,000,
yes,
you go and pay, and you're given a motorbike on loan.
Yeah.
Then you pay is the rest in installments.
Yeah.
Which you can manage.
I can manage to get 500 per day.
You unapata in this around Dandora.
Yeah.
Wow. Guys, I brought Stephen here because I wanted us to get feel of this story, and this is one we can do this. We've always done this. This is 80,000. Today's date 14. If you give yourself 1 week, Friday. Yeah, so let's try. Let's do a 50 shillings challenge. I've decided I'm going to share the number, nobody's number, because of a bit of that disturbance, but I am also asking those who can be willing to reach out to me. My number is there. I'll directly connect you with him so that whichever God has blessed you with, at least I talk. So Mama Meka hospitally for the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay. I know you guys are young couples, huh?
Yeah.
Wow. Thank you, and may God bless you for being a father to this child. I know it's really touching. It's really touching the heart, and I believe that as Bold family, this will come to an end. I know we will find a way. Okay.
I appreciate it.
Sawa. Asante. Aya.